We are Deb Null
and Roxy Sadowin of Nerd Roller Skates,
Calgary, Alberta's full-service skate shop.
We are roller derby players and roller skate nerds.
And we are here for the people who roll.
They say we don't do enough. We don't stock enough skates, especially the bargain basement variety. We don't carry inlines or know the best place to get them. We don't have every package from every manufacturer. They say all these things. Yet every day we measure your feet. We study your stance and tailor your fit. We mount your plates and answer your questions. We build skates that make you fly. We're not here for them. We're here for you. And we want to make you go really, really fast. Make them catch up. Visit us online at fastgirlskates.com.
All right, hello folks, I'm Phil Dirt.
I'm Bangers and Smash.
Welcome back. 2014 Men's Roller Derby Association Championship May Day Mayhem. No, not May Day.
Maritime
Mayhem.
yeah.
Second day. Been a long one. What do you think of the action so far today, Bangers?
So far, we've seen Your Mom Men's Roller Derby come up against Puget Sound Outcast Derby, and Puget Sound really putting on a game and holding on to the lead for a very long time. And Your Mom Men's Roller Derby, though, coming back in the second half, really taking things out. And then the second game we saw, Shock Exchange and Gatekeepers, was just amazing as well.
Gatekeepers pretty much dominant through the entire game. Amazing defensive work in the pack. But New York, a lot of heart in those guys. They never gave up. Every jam, while it was a bit of a blowout, but they kept that a very entertaining game to watch. Anything could happen. St. Louis came out in the second half and just reeled off, I think it was 49-0.
I heard some fans describing St. Louis's execution as very crisp.
Very much.
That's very apt, yeah.
Yeah, very appropriate. They acted like a team out there, very much beating the team that people talk about as being the team. Their strategy outworks and their size. So that leads us to our championship bout later today. Your Mom taking on the Gatekeepers. A bout we've seen a lot of times before, but I think Gatekeepers got a real positive attitude going into this.
And I think they should. The games that they've played this weekend, we're seeing some awesomeness happen out there on the track for them. And they're really going to give Your Mom a run for the money at who's going to take first. And then we're also going to see Shock Exchange again later on this afternoon in the third place bout against Puget Sound. Again, both teams bringing in really strong games this weekend. And it's going to be tough to call.
There's always been like a cross-country rivalry between the Outcasts and the Shock Exchange. Two of the early big powerhouses in men's derby. Both of them went undefeated for a very long time. So there's always been a bit of a back-and-forth rivalry. So that should also be an exciting game. Definitely, Outcasts don't want to lose at their home crowd and go back. They did come in ranked fourth, so they'd like to go away ranked third at very least.
I agree with that assessment. Now we're about to get into the first of the placement games. The next game up, we've got Southern Discomfort all the way from the UK versus the newbies to the tournament this year, Denton County Outlaws. And this is going to be for fifth place. Both teams have some. I think it's going to be hard for the fans here in the stands and for the fans at home to decide on a favorite here.
If you have no dog in this fight, really, both of these teams have been a Cinderella story, or Cinderfella. But both of these teams came in ranked lower than they're going to go home right now, and have put on great shows. Have earned a lot of fans around the world for their behavior here today, or this weekend. So this should be one heck of a bout. I understand Reaper, concussion yesterday, will not be playing for Southern Discomfort.
Yeah, so that means somebody else is going to have to do the jumping in this bout.
Fortunately, they have a couple other jammers more than capable. But,
they absolutely do.
And then, who is it from? We have another problem with the Outlaws.
Denton County Outlaws. From what I understand, West comes here to the tournament, and he is sick as a dog. But good on him. I mean, still putting out some really great jams, getting points on the board, and moving his team forward.
I understood that he had as many points as he did his fever the other day in one of the bouts yesterday. So we look forward to seeing him out there continuing to be awesome, no matter how sick he is.
Alrighty, and we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. We're going to throw it over to Raucous Ron and Randy Pan. They're going to bring this bout to you. Thanks for joining us on for the broadcast of the 2014 Maritime Mayhem Men's Roller Derby Association Champs.
Hello, Raucous Ron. How you doing, sir?
Oh, yeah, baby. Glad to be on this call with you, Randy Pan. This is going to be fun. We always have fun, don't we?
We have a good time, and we have a good time ahead of us. Like they were saying before, these two teams, first time in MRDA championships, both of them moving up in the rankings. So I think there's a lot of high spirits going into this. Both teams bring very professional and very solid gameplay, and it's going to be a matchup of execution, I think, coming out of this. But, yeah, Johnny West, 103 points yesterday, 103-degree fever. So he's definitely
effort there.
Yeah.
And that victory over Mass, that was extraordinary. You know, these upsets are fun to watch, and from the teams that are on their first time here. So
exactly.
Extraordinary. The fans went crazy on those bouts. You know, we're seeing powerhouses like Mass go down, and newbies like these guys coming up in the ranks.
Absolutely. And that Southern Discomfort Portland Men's Roller Derby Bridgetown Menace game was incredible last night. That was just down to the wire. And I think what we're seeing from a lot of these matchups is when you get to the MRDA champs, it's kind of any given Saturday matchups.
Yeah.
You saw Portland play Puget Sound really close, and then Puget Sound come back and play your mom really close.
Wow. Yeah, and you wouldn't have expected that. You wouldn't expect Bridgetown to play your mom close, but it's really a battle. Everybody comes in here to win this thing. The guys, the testosterone's flowing, but thus far we've had a really positive weekend. The guys are high five. Look, we're right now on the track. You can see everybody shaking hands. Love going all the way around. There's Johnny West getting a big hug from Piston Broke. Let's talk about these rosters real quick.
All right, we got Denton County Outlaws. We got number 0, Brandon Vanderstelt. We got number 11, Cesar Reynoso. We got 1775, Joel Herrera. We got 24, Trace Maxwell. 25, Charles McLean. 37, Anthony Strauser. Number 4, TJ Binkley. Number 430, DJ Isaac. Number 505, Nick Butcher. Number 8, Johnny West. Number 8455, Dennis Hampton. Number 86, Tim Kugler. Number 88, Philip Stout. And number X66, Keith Rucker.
And for Southern Discomfort Roller Derby, we have 101, Blitzkrieg. 13, Mr. Farrow. 14, Sam Droid. 17, Berserker. 1 Up, Shrooms. 3, Sutton Impact. 33, Roland Stoner. 380, Flat Track Bully. 515, Piston Broke. 6283, Spectral Aberration. 666, Reaper, who we heard wasn't going to be in, but he apparently is on our roster. Number 78, Hook Slinger. Number 8, Henry the Skate. And M16, Ballistic Whistle. That'll take us right down to our 5-second warning, and we have the aforementioned Mr. West, star of yesterday's bout.
And Monsieur Froyot is jamming and already lead jammer for Southern Discomfort.
Would you mind just saying his name all game? That's brilliant. So I'm sure the people from Southern Discomfort would love that. So we're back into the pack.
Blitzkrieg was dropping Johnny West back.
Oh, yeah.
Monsieur Froyot out for 5. Very quick passes there for Mr. Monsieur Froyot. He is a very dynamic player. Doesn't train a lot with the team as he's in France, but it's working out for them so far this weekend.
Yeah, gotta love that quick lateral movement, really spinning around. This person has obviously been on skates his whole life. And Johnny West breaking out of the pack on his initial pass.
Yeah, he had a force out on the outside, creating his own opening there. That made for initial pass. Monsieur Froyot is going to call it off, and that's going to be 10-0 out of the gate, Raucous Ron.
Wow, and we saw Trace Maxwell get a penalty there, and his forearm is in the box, so it's 4-on-3 blocking advantage for Southern Discomfort when Reaper is on the floor. jamming, who
we thought was concussed and we thought was not playing, but
well, this is a person that Southern Discomfort really likes to have, needs to have in the game. Very fast, very agile. So we'll see if he's got it today after being shaken up yesterday. Number 666 attacking the front wall, recycled right now.
That's number 4, TJ Binkley, jamming for Denton Outlaws. Going on the inside, takes a track cut, just stepped out just a little bit on the corner.
Yeah, so power jam here for Southern Discomfort, up by 10 in the second jam. Reaper with the slice on the outside, stays in bounds, picks up 5.
He seemed a little disappointed he didn't get to jump over anything, but I think he's going to have a lot of opportunity to do it.
Absolutely, very dynamic skater. Stays on one skate along the inside, gets a good seal block from his teammates.
And that was Spectral Aberration, who went in for the offense to try to get a little speed going, and he goes in again to try to open up the middle of the pack.
Spectral just opens up the door when hits in there. I've been super impressed with Spectral this tournament, and the blocking ability of this gentleman. So TJ Binkley out of the penalty box and back on the floor.
DJ
Reaper with a apex jump past TJ Binkley. You got to jump the whole pack and the jammer, so good stuff right there. Nice highlight reel material for Reaper, who was just questionable coming in.
His highlight reel will look like a gazelle hopping around in the wild. So he has 2 concussions, and he's still playing. That is bananas.
Well, he must be okay. We got a good medical staff here, and, you know, they wouldn't have him out. Obviously, he's doing all right if he's hopping apexes like that.
That's going to be X66 Keith Rucker for Denton County Outlaws on the Nerd Skates jammer line.
It's Ballistic Whistle. Ballistic Whistle also having a great tournament thus far, fighting that Denton County defense right now, but it is going to be...
That is, yes, Keith Rucker is lead jammer, first lead jam for Denton. They need to put a Denton in this score. I apologize. I'm so sorry, Texas.
There you go.
Amazing blocker advantage here. Denton still trying to get through there. Rucker trying to
lead jammer, but he didn't call it off. Rutger is stuck in the pack. Meanwhile, Ballistic Whistle wrapping around, scoring, threatening to score again. They're telling him to call it. Does he hear him in time? Boy, he got a Ballistic Whistle, got in there and got some points, probably some ghost points too.
Yeah,
4 of them.
Yeah, Ballistic didn't get those points. It looked like those were the points that was sitting on from Denton County. So it was there. He got hit out right as he engaged the pack tip, but didn't pass anyone's hips. I believe they were just trying to kill time off the clock, and already we see an argument. I'm willing to bet it's about the points that were not signaled on that last pass. Back block.
So Mr. Farrow will take the line again, having had a wonderful start for Southern Discomfort. It's Johnny West. After some discussion from the officials.
Are we assuming they're still discussing a no,
back to the action here.
Back to the action. No review called, so there you go. Yeah, Johnny West and Monsieur Froyo. Already a little bit of penalty issue for the Outlaws. They got 4 already. Only 1 for Southern Discomfort, but it's a blocker advantage here going into this jam.
Both of them trying to fight their way through, but Mr. Farrow is through, and lead jammer Southern Discomfort.
Spectral Aberration able to get Johnny West to the inside. He had to cycle to the back.
Mr. Farrow doing a dance out there.
Johnny West trying to push out 20 feet in the front. We have a no pack, and we still have a lot of engagement. I imagine an out of play's got to be coming
Spectral
soon.
with the recycle and the pull in the cut track again. Spectral lighting it up here at Men's Champs, making a name for himself as a blocker. Very proud. The folks in London must be of him.
A lot of power, a lot of footwork there, too.
Yeah.
Roland Stoner goes in to try to have a little offensive opening there. But Monsieur Froyo taken to the inside by number 4, TJ Binkley. Taken to the outside, sorry, and cycled back.
And Binkley will take a trip to the penalty box on that one.
Monsieur Froyo is such an incredible skater. If he only has 2 blockers out there, that's almost a guaranteed pass for him.
Yeah, they called that one out of play on TJ Binkley. TJ Binkley always very, very aggressive, dangerous with the star or as a jammer.
We're going into a 3-2 blocker advantage and a 1-0 jammer advantage for Reaper. So this is a really big start here for Southern Discomfort. And Reaper hopping off the Nerdscape's jammer line.
Oh, only 2 blockers, and they got him to the inside, but he went out as well, so he will make it around. No pass, no penalty, no lead jam call.
That was number 24, Trace Maxwell, with the hit on the outside there, or towards the inside.
So, and through again, snagging 5 more for the surging Southern Discomfort.
I believe that's Charles McLean with attempting the offense there for Denton. Trying to get an opening there to Johnny West, who finds an inside line and gets lead jammer out of the penalty box.
That Reaper knocked to the outside. A couple blockers went out with him, so he comes right back in. Now he is on the tail of Johnny West.
That's great defense considering the blocker deficit for Denton.
Now passing him. A cut track, I thought so. That foot struck down on the inside, tried to be a little too fancy there. Meanwhile, West on a power jam for Denton County, just what they needed right now to get the momentum swinging their way a little bit.
And it's still a cut if it's just a jammer on this in the far end. Wow, Johnny West staying in the line with that pirouette. Incredible footwork there for 5 points.
Looks a little tired coming out the front end with the head shake too. Now
just shaking out the cobwebs, no big deal.
Good wall set. Southern Discomfort being disrupted by a couple of the blockers for Denton County.
Ooh, nice hit there from Charles McLean after the force out from Blitzkrieg. Now Blitzkrieg and Johnny going to the back of the pack.
Stoner drawing the jammer for West way back.
And now McLean's going offense there. Went from that nice opening hit to offense.
Reaper continuing to score. 4 more.
Johnny West favoring his, he was holding his thumb a little bit there. Hope there's not an injury involved in that.
Well, you know, coming into the tournament sick, you know, having a high fever, putting up a big show yesterday, you've got to think that will wear you down in time. So hopefully we won't see that as one of the differences in the game. You always want to see everybody performing at their best, and you don't want injuries or sickness to influence the outcome of the game, but you got to play with who you came with.
That is, and that's the nature of the beast that we're dealing with there. That's Keith Rucker jamming on the Nerdscape's jammer line for Denton Outlaws.
Recycled way back, and so is Ballistic Whistle.
MI6. They're up against the wall of white and back. Spectre Operation with the force out on Rucker. Rucker being hit to the back. We haven't actually got out of the first straightaway yet, Raucus Rock.
Yeah. The battle is here. The pack is right there.
It's just a big merry-go-round. 30 seconds in, and we are at the first turn.
Yeah, tough going, and we've seen all weekend for both these teams, we've seen really, really good defensive walls like that, but Ballistic Whistle punching through. Ballistic Whistle always fighting tenaciously.
I like both these teams' gameplay right here. Rucker finds a nice little opening on the outside, but that was all he needed to get his initial pass.
Yeah, I always think once you got the other jammers out, get your jammer out right away. Ballistic Whistle spinning around, calling it off on the inside, grabbing 3 more points, and I got a shout out from Ballistic Whistle to and the whole team to Jukebox. They want to know that they miss her and appreciate her.
She appreciates that.
Oh yeah.
Commanding lead for Southern Discomfort right now. And it looks like they're pushing it. One of the things that Outlaws need to just lock down there is staying on the track. For now, that's the biggest advantage that Southern Discomfort has.
Penalties,
so they're doing great with the numbers, but
they've got TJ Binkley out there jamming right now, and he is a tough customer. But they're going to have to find a way to break down these Southern Discomfort walls, which we've seen earlier this weekend can be very difficult to deal with, especially without offensive blocking.
Monsieur Furio getting a force out, and it looked like
Cut track on TJ Binkley. He will hit the box. That is his third penalty of the day.
Monsieur Fury having a little trouble on this defense, but it's still the penalties are being picked up here by Denton. And it just makes it opening that much easier for Monsieur Furio. However,
Philip Stout on the out of play called out. That'll leave one blocker on the track versus 3. That'll make it easy going.
You got to credit Denton's defense there on this opening. It took 45 seconds for Monsieur Furio to get his initial pass.
Yeah. But not that many more seconds to pick up points.
Now that the numbers are very much, well, not very much anymore, but now that the numbers are in Southern Discomfort's favor, it's just easy passes for Furio. It's 13 penalties for the Outlaws and only 5 for Southern Discomfort right now.
So hard to stop that guy one-on-one. I think it's the fancy skates.
It's got to be the skates.
Quite awesome with the red knee pads. You cannot mistake him for somebody else out there. Big sweeping hit on the front end, but Mr. Furio calling off the jam after picking up 4 more.
Binkley back in, but just in time it gets called. And they keep pushing him. All right, for the last year, Green Monster has dedicated our time to creating something special that will change the wheel game as you know it. Make sure you're receiving notifications from us as well, following us on Instagram at GRNMNSTR Roller Sports for more information.
Green Monster Roller Sports.
Green Monster! Johnny West fighting that wall.
But coming out of the front end, we have Reaper as the lead jammer for Southern Discomfort. And a big apex jump. You could see that coming from a mile away. Pat clustered into the corner of the turn. Reaper taking full advantage. West is out.
Beautiful pirouette jump on the outside by West to get his initial pass.
Got to get that initial pass. Reaper coming in. Oh, killing it. Reaper with another apex jump. Second in so many trips around the track. The crowd here in Tacoma, Washington going crazy. Little hop, skip, and a jump, and a smile from Reaper. I bet they're glad he could make it today.
Team time out here for Denton Outlaws.
Yeah, time to think about this one.
Starting the bleeding a little bit. We'd like to thank Fast Girls Skates. We were the very first roller derby storefront 7 years ago, and we thank you for the years of support. Derby owned and operated with the most knowledgeable staff ever. Take advantage of huge savings during October, our Customer Appreciation Month. Avoid the, quote, big box, unquote websites, and stick with us, the first and the best.
Well, the penalties are killing Denton County, and Reaper's killing them.
Yeah. So, I'm worried about that guy, though. I'm worried about him. And when he does his jumps, I'm like,
don't hit your head, dude.
Dangerous, young man.
And we're seeing what we've seen from Southern Discomfort, too. They're playing very controlled, focused game, lockdown defense. They're keeping it all together. They seem to have great communication in the pack. And you know, folks out there in Derby land, if you skate, let me tell you something. Transition from offense to defense more often. We've got to see more of that. The successful teams we've seen this weekend seamlessly flow from offense to defense, sometimes at the same time. Block 3, send 1. Block 2, send 2. Block 4, everybody runs up and helps to get the jammer out when they're, you know, you just mix it up and get in there, and that's one of the secrets. Don't be predictable.
Well, and you know, I'm going to make the obvious comparison, but it's the same you see with London's WFTDA team.
Ballistic whistle out, lead jammer.
Speaking of.
Yes.
It's X66 Keith Rucker there jamming for the Outlaws, finding an outside lane and getting his initial pass much quicker now. Good sign for them.
So ballistic whistle out in front of the pack, calls it off astutely in time, picking up 3 more, not quite past that last blocker. Southern Discomfort in command right now. And speaking of Southern Comfort, they would like to give a shout out. And that shout out is to all of their skaters, refs, NSOs, friends, family back home. They really appreciate the support and they love y'all.
Now we have 3 and 3. We're even up in the pack now. And that is Tim Kugler jamming for Denton. And that's going to draw a back block. Yep.
There it goes. And with a smile, one less blocker to contend with.
I think he saw that from Magnum PI.
Oh, no, one less jammer to contend with. He's on a power jam now. Mr. Ferrio in the penalty box. So Southern Discomfort filling up the penalty box right now. Stoner going in on a cut track. So good offensive blocking, which is definitely, they're going to need that to get people by Spectral.
Kugler, just dances around the outside of the inside of Spectral operation. And Outlaws doing a nice job. They're just going in and splitting the defense. That was working great for gatekeepers all weekend. So.
Wow, big hits coming from the back of the pack from the lockdown blocker there. Having a tough time with that front offense, but there it is. Oh my goodness, Mr. Ferrio back on the track and back in.
Wow.
Jammer goes down after hitting the ref on the inside. Gets his 5, a little shaken up on the inside. Randy Pan.
Great footwork by Monsieur Ferrio on the hit to the inside. He jumped out, and it looks like mid-air came behind and then around to the other side and then in front of the blocker. Incredible, incredible footwork.
So the success that Denton County had there, some of it can be attributed to that offensive blocking, and especially because they had a power jam situation. But that's how you break down the walls of a team like London here.
And it was nice having all of their blockers out there, too. That's number 4, TJ Binkley, once again jamming for Denton Outlaws.
And Reaper, so elusive on the outside, lead jammer for Southern Discomfort.
Denton attempting to split up the defense a little bit. They went in for an offensive attack.
Wow.
But
and an apex jump. You got to think this guy's always looking. If he looks around the corner, he's always studying for that moment. Like, oh, just let me have that inside, please. Just stack up in the corner.
Wow, Sutton.
That time they had it sealed off to the inside. So.
Sutton with the hit to the outside there, drawing back Binkley.
Yeah, aptly named Sutton Impact, too. Seen some huge hits from this guy this weekend.
And then the wall just kind of gives way there for Binkley for a very quick pass. Somebody got a cut.
Oh, look at that. Reaper just showing off now.
Just like his 50th apex jump there. He doesn't even care if there's anyone there. He's just jumping across.
I'm just going to jump this because it's shorter to go through here than to go around over there. You know, it's kind of fun too.
I'm worried about my head, so.
I'm just going to keep jumping through the air. Roller Derby Elite signifies our highest level of skates and components, engineered and designed for advanced skaters demanding the maximum level of performance. Roller Derby Elite.
And there's Johnny West up against the wall and back. Bully and Aberration holding on to him there.
Pushing, trying to bully his way through the bully wall.
Great footwork and great strength there for his initial pass.
But Ballistic Whistle right with him, and he will call off the jam. So even picking up that lead jam call, the jammer, such speed on Southern Discomfort. They get out and catch up fast.
Okay, a late, looks like Flat Track Bully going to the penalty box for a late issued forearm there. Good spirits on the track there. Good spirits. Some of these bouts have been a little contentious, but both of these teams are showing each other a lot of respect and a lot of appreciation.
Keith Rucker with a move around the outside, stays in bounds after taking a huge hit on the front end. Lead jammer Denton County. That's the kind of momentum sweep they need. Wow. But as usual, busting out with speed and trying to play catch up. Mr. Frio.
Yeah, when you get lead jammer Monsieur Frio, that's its own victory.
And he gets into the pack, calls it off before Furio can get there. Caught by his own skater. Zip on that one. Denton County having a hard time, as you said, making a dent in the score.
Yeah, but at least now they're keeping their skaters out there, and this has all been from the timeout. Once the timeout was issued, they've been a lot cleaner.
You are
so
right. Correct.
That was a huge step in the right direction. And the score hasn't ran away as much since then, but a lot of damage was done by the time they got there.
Just can't say enough about these blocking walls and skaters from Southern Discomfort, how they have evolved over the year and gotten so much stronger and better as a team.
It's number 4, TJ Binkley, fighting up to the front there and in good position to push out 20 feet.
Yeah, battling against Spectral right now, but Reaper recycled way back. So we've got pack spread all over the track and then collapsing together again in turn 1. TJ Binkley, hard-fought battle to get out the front. He needs some time and space. This is what the Denton County's got to do. They've got to hold back the jammer and let their jammer get around and score some points on a routine basis.
Well, I hate to belabor the issue, but they got 4 blockers out there, and they're defending Reaper, so it's working. Well, spoke too soon.
Yeah.
Inside line opened up, and
well, there you go. Play some offense, gentlemen. They're listening to me, right?
Getting in the mix a little bit, but they set up for Reaper, too. 3-0.
Good roller derby right here. Denton County fighting hard. They need to hold their walls together a little tighter, stay out of the penalty box, but they have definitely, they look like they've improved from the start.
Johnny West versus Ballistic Missile up at the Nerd Skate jammer line, and 2 walls setting up right in front of them.
No one in the box right now, so 5 on 5. Ballistic Whistle recycled, bump to the inside.
Johnny West getting a little offensive help.
Meanwhile,
wasn't relying on it too much yesterday, but now that he gets it, lead jammer. I'm shocked. Piston Broke is disagreeing with the call that is sending him to the penalty box.
What a surprise. Big hit on the outside, takes Ballistic Missile out of bounds, but it was no pass, no penalty, so he is in on his initial pass. The crashing bash. Look at the hits taking place up here. Well-timed hits by Denton County, trying to position themselves to.
They're collecting some nickels and dimes right now.
They are. They're getting in there. So how about a shout-out from Denton County back home? They want to give a shout-out to their captain, who had a baby this week. Well, actually, his wife did. Huckabee Divers and Kyle Divers.
He helped.
Yeah, he helped for sure. And Kyle Divers is Haterade, the captain of the team, and he is home for the baby stuff. All the love and respect out to the Derby family as we continue the action on the floor with Keith Rutker jamming for Denton County. A nice hop past the ball, and he is lead jammer for Denton County. So Denton County getting some momentum here, Randy Pan.
They've got a little run on lead jammer, 3 or 4 in a row there for them. Monsieur Froyot finally jumps to the outside to get his initial pass.
Those juke moves, I mean, very, very difficult when the person moves that fast to stop him one-on-one.
Rucker taking a huge hit to the inside, calls it off. Still gets his 4 points, and it lands 2 blockers in the penalty box. Roland Stoner and Flat Track Volley in there, so we got a 4-2 blocker advantage in favor.
Momentum continuing to roll that way a little bit for Denton County, and some penalties starting to accrue for Southern Discomfort. Stoner now at 4.
We got 16 there total for the Outlaws, and 14 there for Southern Discomfort.
Back on the floor, Reaper.
That's TJ
making
Binkley
quick work of the pack. Oh, but then knocked out the front. He is lead jammer, but recycled at the last second. Oh, and
going to get the out of play for that. TJ Binkley does get out nonetheless, and there's only Sutton Impact is the only blocker out there currently.
Southern Discomfort needing to calm it down a little bit here.
Reaper takes a spill, very careful to get back up, and I'm glad to see that. And I believe he's killing time to empty the penalty box a little bit, which is the right call.
Taking time there as one of the skaters goes down to TJ Binkley. And
no points on that last pass. The center of mass did not pass the opposing center of mass.
And Denton County looking a little fatigued out there at times, but they're in this one to win it. They're fighting.
We've been seeing this matchup a lot. Number 8, Johnny West versus number MI6, Ballistic Whistle. And the tides turn a little bit between the last 2 jams on blocker numbers.
So but there we go. Ballistic Whistle out and lead jammer for Southern Discomfort. So trying to shift the tide.
Yeah, but despite the blocker disadvantage, Johnny West got out really quick.
Ballistic Whistle digging in there, looking for a point or 2.
Wow, 2-0.
Does grab 2.
Yeah, that's actually great. That the disadvantage was actually pretty big, stacked against them, so holding him to less than a full scoring class. Take the win.
One blocker standing in the box for Denton County.
Keith Rucker, X66 up at the Nerd Skates jammer line. Monsieur Froyo as well.
Froyo up front. What great moves. Watch this juking, ladies and gentlemen, jammers. That's great, and it'll be a power jam, which is a big opportunity to score some serious points. Keith Rucker with the cut track.
Monsieur Froyo, it looks like Denton trying to set up shop in front to defend. Henry the skate and bowling his way into that front wall there to try to make an opening.
McLean and company doing a good job for as long as they could, but free and clear, number 13, grabbing 5.
By the way, yes, I've been sitting on that joke since yesterday.
Sorry, I didn't laugh.
No, I don't blame you. It's not funny. Inside opening presents itself very quickly for Monsieur Feuillot for a quick 5 points.
Crashes into the pack. Blocker down for Denton County.
And
Jammers nowadays trying to create their own holes with big blocks, and Mr. Furio almost thinking he got the cut track. Bam, look at these collisions out here.
Trying to get Rucker in the back a little quicker, and then everyone's up against a wall. Rucker finds a hole in the outside, climbs through for his initial pass. And Outlaws holding him to 3 on that pass there.
Denton County fighting hard, you know, with the exception of some huge power jams, and Denton County's been in there scrappy the whole time. Not having as much success getting through the walls, though. Southern Discomfort really establishing some stout walls.
4-3 blocker advantage favoring Outlaws on this one.
Philip Stout out there jamming for Denton County. They're going to try different rotations here. He has got the lead jam call, and Reaper with the cut track, but he'll have to go all the way around, so golden opportunity here for Mr. Stout. See if he can make it through the Stout defense.
He might jump the outside apex now, and he didn't go for it. Stout finds an opening around.
5 points for Denton County. Trying to crawl back into this one. So plenty of time remaining. We got 3 minutes left in the first half. Up against that wall, and it will need some help, I was going to say. Getting it now from the blockers offensively, coming in, trying to create a seal, open up a space for him.
Wow, that's incredible defense there. That is freaking incredible.
Yeah, spectral aberration is the turnaround blocking and the holding, and that's what they've got to do. They've got to come in and take a guy like Spectral and separate him from the wall, get him, you know, if that's your problem, you got to break down that person. He has drawn 2 cuts so far today, I was told by Phil Dirt, and those are exceptional. Those are game changers when you draw cuts.
What a great power jam kill there. And you also got to get up for a sudden impact, and Piston broke there in the front there too, holding it down. They had all kinds of offensive hits coming at them, and they still held that front line there. 5 points given to the Outlaws, but man, a lot more damage could have been done on that. Wow, great, great, great defense. I really like this guy. I like this Shrooms.
Oh,
I like this young man.
Rita Poi for back in Kansas City wants to give a shout out to you, Randy Pan. She says hello, and she's listening to us right now.
Good to hear from you. Good to hear from you. Shrooms, yeah, great in the pack, great offense-defense transition. Now putting on the star and powering his way through lead jammer.
Shrooms great anywhere. He's all over this track. Johnny West right behind him, though. They'll tell him to skate it out, maybe run some more clock off, nab a couple. Tries to call it off, but West is through for 4-3, so small victory there for West, and the Outlaws stealing one.
Great lockdown defense from the Outlaws, closing in on him. outside lane wide open to West, and if he's got that lane, he's all the way. He's already through.
When I think they locked down on him so hard he couldn't even. It was a difficult time calling it off. They can't reach my hips.
They pinned down his arms, so he couldn't actually call it off.
I wonder if that
interesting tactic.
Yeah, it's a very interesting tactic here.
Yeah. He can't raise his arms.
Even if it's incidental. So back on the jam line with Keith Rutger for Denton County. Monsieur Ferial with the lead jam call.
And Rutger finds an outside line for his initial pass. Okay.
All right, Mr. Ferial out.
Looks like they're giving a high block assessed from the outside on the previous pass to Rutger, and that's a power jam for Ferial.
Oh, my goodness.
I see Ballistic Whistle sitting with some ice on his elbows right now.
It's been a battle out there. It's hard hitting here.
It's his third game, too, this weekend.
And for 5th place, speaking of 5 more.
Sudden Impact getting in there in that wall and trying to divide them a little bit.
Look at the strategy going on here. They attack, they pull together, rush in, create a seam wall, perfectly timed for their jammer coming in behind them. The hole is open, the 5 points are scored.
What's beautiful about that is that's an executed set play.
You
know they were ready for that. You know they had that coming. I mean, it's the step. I mean, yeah, transition offense, defense is great, but you got to have those plays in your pocket if you're going to execute and push it at this level.
But you see so many teams that don't.
Oh, yeah.
Don't have set plays.
And most of them aren't here.
Yeah, most of them aren't here. That is correct. So astute observation that teams who have set plays and run screens make it to champs. WFTA a championship's coming up, and you got to say that about the top teams on the women's side as well. Very good execution of offense and defense. And we are at halftime here of this exciting bout. Despite the score, both teams playing their heart out for 5th place, both coming in with a splash. Cinderfella stories, as Phil Dirt said, of the tournament.
Yeah, no matter what happens with this bout, they're moving up. They've already moved up. They're already taking a higher seed here.
And made an impression. I don't think either one of these teams would be sad leaving here, losing this one. Of course they want it, though.
Yeah, it's looking good for Southern Discomfort right now. Yeah. Outlaws keep their skaters out there. That will help them out a lot. That will set them up for a lot of success. But it's going to be hard for them to come all the way back. Unless Southern Discomfort does something wrong in the meantime. If Southern Discomfort just takes it easy and keeps himself on the track and just keeps a kind of like focused, clean game, it's theirs for the taking.
I think so too. They're so in command. It's very much like the Gatekeepers earlier. They just seemed in control of the game. Good communication, good focus. I want to tell you about a couple games we have coming up and some big ones. And that is 3 o'clock. Pacific time. We'll have the 3rd place game. That is New York Chalk Exchange versus Puget Sound, and it's set up to be a crazy
It's going to be so fun.
If you've been watching the whole tournament, you know this is going to be great. Puget playing incredibly against your mom. New York falling short to St. Louis, but hungry now for that position. And, of course, our championship later on at 5 Pacific. Your mom versus St. Louis. And seeing all the teams here, I don't think you could ask for a better matchup.
Oh, yeah.
That. Those are the 2 teams from their performance here that deserve to be in that game.
Yeah.
And stay tuned. We'll roll it out and take.
We are Deb Null,
And Roxy Sadowski of Nerd Roller Skates.
Calgary, Alberta's full-service skate shop.
We are roller derby players and roller skate nerds.
And we are here for the people who roll. We are Deb Null,
and Roxy Settley of Nerd Roller Skates.
Calgary, Alberta's full-service skate shop.
We are roller derby players and roller skate nerds.
And we are here for the people who roll.
My name is Lacey Knight and I skate with the Angel City Derby Girls. I've been evolving more and more into just having things that I know are going to be reliable, that they're going to last, and that they're going to do exactly what I want them to do. When you've reached a certain place in your derby career, it becomes less about how much you're spending on the equipment as it is about what it's going to do for you. I need to be able to have it conform to my foot so that it's just an extension of who I am as opposed to this thing that is now on my foot. The right L boot that I have now has been able to successfully do everything I need it to do. This year has even gotten better for me, and my skating is the best it's ever been, and it's the best boot that I've ever had.
When you don't buy Antic skate boots, you buy some other brand. When you buy some other brand, you suck at practice. When you suck at practice, you're unprepared for Team Antic USA skater Carmen Getsum. When you're unprepared for Carmen Getsum, she destroys you on the track. When she destroys you on the track, you end up on the trainer's table with a concussion and major injuries. Don't end up with a concussion and major injuries. Buy Antic skate boots.
Well, and we are back on here. An amazing bout, as they've all been this weekend. A battle despite the score. Southern Discomfort with a big lead right now, but Denton County really bringing it to the table here, the battle. We've got a whole second half of action ahead of us. I'm Raucous Ron, of course, and joining me here, Randy Pan, bringing you the second half of action. Southern Discomfort really, shocking the world here with this, the jamming and blocking. I think they are making a huge name for themselves, and a lot of individual skaters out there becoming derby heroes.
Ron, I'm sorry to interrupt. I was held up a little bit by a controversy that's being discussed on the internet.
Oh my!
So it's important.
Oh yeah.
How do you pronounce Mr. Furio's name? Because apparently it's been said all kinds of different ways this weekend.
Well, I apologize.
And yes, the internet community needs to get to the bottom of this. Is it Fur-E? Is it Fur-Eo? Furio. It's the French. I don't know. I'm taking my year and a half of French that I studied, and I'm going with that.
I thought it was too.
Fur-E-O. The E-U-X is how it's pronounced. That is O in the French pronunciation.
And other really, really important issues in roller derby.
Yeah. So I'm glad we got to the bottom of this. I hope this works out. We'll get 100% confirmation, but according to my research, that is what I've developed. But we will go to the source, maybe get an interview, because of all the stuff that's been happening over this MRDA weekend. That is the issue that's
the most
truly
important
large.
thing. Let's talk about another important issue, and that's points. Looking over at the Southern Discomfort side.
That matters too.
They are lighting it up. The aforementioned Mr. Furio with 74 points. Flashy moves as his shoes, as his skates out there. Reaper with 61. Spectacular flying moves over the apex all day long. And then Ballistic Whistle with 12 on the Outlaws side.
Johnny West right now, on the Outlaws with 18. One for every degree of disfever in Kelvin, I believe. No surprise we're seeing him out there alongside Monsieur Foyo on the Nerd Skate jammer line.
5 seconds and we're back into the action.
F-U-R-I, that's Fury. U-X.
All right, okay. Oh, big hit on Furio. But he spins around the outside. He grabs a hold of one of his own. He takes a shirt whip and flies around the outside, picking up lead jammer for Southern Discomfort.
Great footwork by Johnny West. Gets pushed to the outside, keeps his skates inbound, pirouettes to get his initial pass.
Yeah, West holding his face after that one. Doesn't seem too happy about a blow he received in the pack. Again, The guy is, been sick all weekend, still put up 103 points with 103 fever yesterday. Might have taken some of the smoke off of his whistle.
He's going to hear this and it was like, it was 101. You guys are exaggerating.
Right.
I wasn't
Points?
that sick.
So that was the story we heard anyway. So 101 point lead now for Southern Discomfort as Reaper comes to the line. Reaper trying to put nails in the coffin one at a time. One apex jump landing.
Trace Maxwell trying to fight the inside there. Spectral Aberration gets a hold, but nice offensive assist to the inside there to get him up front.
And beautiful defensive work from Stoner,
yeah. Stoner.
Yes. So Stoner, a standout blocker here today as well. Southern Discomfort.
Guard the inside. Okay, they're good.
Keeping the pack flowing fast as the Jammers approach, looking for some scoring region for Reaper as he gets in behind one, calls it off.
Denton did a great job staying up front with that, did a great job staying on the inside, held that to a 1-point pass on the last pass. Great awareness from Denton blockers on that. Really enjoyed how they played that, how they set that up for that.
And we saw that from Denton this week. They've played hard. I think they've earned the respect of the roller derby community, certainly deserving to be here. So cool to see two teams that have never been to men's champs facing off for the 5th place. Great story on that one, including international play for the first time ever, which is my pleasure to call with you, Randy Pan. Right now, out front, and lead jammer Keith Rucker.
And that is Shrooms held up there, and it looks like he picked up a cut track penalty. I guess he was seeing something that he wasn't actually seeing, probably. I wonder what would cause that. Shrooms in the penalty box.
So now jumping around the outside with a nice move.
That's Keith Rucker. 4-4 in the pack right now.
Now coming up to play some offense and try and stretch the pack out.
Anthony Strasser with the initial attack there.
Not sure if that's going to be enough offensive help for, in this instance. There goes McLean up to try and create a hole, but Rutger crashed to the floor, calls off the jam. Slow to get up. Maybe just a little winded. Get some help up from
He did get 3
Sutton
out of that,
Impact.
But yeah, I agree. It wasn't enough. If they had one less blocker out there for Southern Discomfort, you might have just needed that initial push to gain a little speed, gain a little ground. But all 4 of them were together and locked down. You need a little more that was going on, and maybe just go all in and try to pick one off.
Yeah, I love the way Sutton Impact put him on the ground and then picked him up. Come on, man.
Gotcha. Yeah, like we said, a lot of love. Both these teams very happy to be here.
Furio slicing through the wall. Boy, got his shoulder in there and just like a can opener, popped open the lid on the defense. Sprung out for lead jam, now in scoring position. Spins into the pack, calls it off.
First jam there for Cesar Loza Reynoso. First time out there as a jammer, so nice, quick initial pass there. I wonder if we'll see him a little more in the jammer lineup. Johnny was giving a little love.
Cesar Loza, if you heard previous games, you might have heard, but this is his 3rd game ever in roller derby. Only started skating on quads 6 months ago. So, the native of, or originally Guadalajara, Mexico, his only skating experience was on ice skates. Reaper right now jamming for Southern Discomfort, looking for a hole in that Denton defense. Denton holding strong with 4 up front. That's a good wall for Denton.
And then you get a little position there to set up the offense there for Johnny as he pushes forward.
Yep, Johnny continues to push through the pack. Now Reaper knocked to the inside, but gets in behind the jammer that knocked him out. He's playing catch up with Johnny West right now, and he is a fast jammer. We're stacking up the penalty box with a couple of Outlaws.
Yeah, I missed the call on Vandersub, number 0, but I want to throw it down for him right now. He was in the front defensive wall, and then as Johnny was pushing up Southern Discomfort's wall, he immediately put himself in an offensive position in the middle of that wall to can open that wall open for Johnny West to get through. He took a hit in the meantime, but I just loved Vanderstelt putting himself in that position and the awareness of creating that offensive opportunity.
Switching roles so quickly, going from blocks to screens, and through for lead jammer.
It's colorful, it's magical, it's Shrooms. He is out. Rucker finally pushing out the defense there for his initial pass.
Shrooms pounding up front. The young future star.
4 points. He'll make you grow into the super version of yourself. You thought I was going to say something else, but I made a video game reference.
Right.
Number 11 there, Cesar Loza Reynoso. Second Jammer Herd, third bout ever. I love this team. I love the Outlaws, man.
I do. They are so scrappy, but right now continuing with their attack. Oh, look at that swimming through Mr. Furio.
Was he admitting something to everybody, or was he making some commentary? I'm not sure.
Yeah, you know, we see a lot more arm usage by jammers getting through packs these days, kind of swimming through and not getting a lot of forearms for it. So
that was a cut track there by Cesar Loza Reynoso.
So the young rookie.
He had 2. He took out his mouth guard before exiting the track, so he got a second penalty there. This is a full minute for Mizio Furio, who is going to have an opportunity to pull away from this.
So that's what happens when you put a rookie on the track. Ooh, big crashing hit to the inside, putting Mr. Furio on the floor.
That was number 24, Trace Maxwell, with the hit there. Oh, that was great.
Yeah, and then after the hit, he was slow to get up as well.
Vanderstelt caught in the trap. They're trying to get his way out.
This is awesome action. And I know it sounds cliche despite the score. We're really seeing great skating from both sides. And if you watch this team from London, they are going to make big waves in the MRDA for a long time to come. Mr. Furio fighting, swimming, grabbing 4.
Is that what they're doing? Is that what he's doing? He will show us if we need to. I love how London dealt with that power jam. They're putting themselves right in the middle, just picking one off and just locking that down and letting Furio do the rest.
Yeah, and Cesar Loza out on the track. So new he doesn't even have a real jersey. Number 11 there, but
gets the handoff there to number 88, Philip Stout there, who's going to take over as jammer.
Yeah, that was a good idea. I don't want to pick up another penalty there and keep the cap on the rookie. I'm sure he's got a lot of great skating to do in the future, but
Binkley got the hit out on Furio that forced him to call it off. And now Binkley's in there having a discussion with Mistral.
We see this great matchup again of West and Reaper having a conversation, camaraderie on the line. Nerd skates, jammer line. West pushing hard. The bully wall holding strong for SoCal.
Great defense, and we got the force out. That was McLean with the force out, and West out front, lead jammer. And they tried to trap West, and he just barreled his way out of it.
You get the feeling this Outlaws team is getting better as they go along. They seem like they're starting to tighten up on defense and figure some things out here against this great London team.
McLean with some great hits there.
We've seen lots of pancake blocks from him this week. They were some good stuff, laying jammers and blockers out on the floor, sometimes unexpectedly.
This is fun. Shrooms back up, 1 up.
And Keith Rutger for Southern Discomfort. For Denton County.
You'd think the 10-6 team would be Southern Discomfort, I'm right there with you. I'm doing everything I can not to mix that up. Oh, great screen set up on the outside. Rucker gets through. Lead jammer very quickly.
Again, starting to have some success. Are they Shrooms? is out and jamming in position as well. Rutgers going to call it off. Did he do it in time?
Herrera.
He did.
Herrera picking up a really quick insubordination on his call there. He's going to have 2 penalties to serve there.
And look at this. We're going to have Cesar Loza out again jamming.
And you know,
ice skating. That's all he'd done before then. Never had a pair of quads on before 6 months ago. And then been practicing roller derby for about 6 months. His 3rd game. This is his first, or was his first sanctioned action this weekend. I'm sorry, not 30. I think his 3rd game was yesterday, and he played for a moment.
And at this point, why not put him out there? You're not going to win. Give him the experience. Give him the opportunity to push it against high-level competition. He did pick up a track cut. Yeah.
You know, here he is making mistakes. Maybe at the next tournament he will be not as inclined to do that after watching footage.
Monsieur Ferriot letting Jamref know that he is lead as the other one went to the penalty. It was confirmed, and yes.
Spectral aberration. Bracing the wall. Amazing back and forth lateral movement. I am a huge fan of Spectral Aberration.
Yeah, he's fun. He's fun to watch.
You know, didn't really know much about him coming into this, and this weekend he has made a lot of fans out there in the roller derby world, as I'm sure you all are watching on WFTA.tv. There he is falling in the corner.
Great footwork. Get ready jumping there, Refugio, for another 5 points.
And Cesar now Spectral Aberration by himself, holding back, but now breaking free. Cesar Loza still looking for that pass, but of course, Monsieur Furio, 5 more in the sky.
Southern Discomfort's getting so locked up into offense now that they're giving up defensive opportunities. It's a pretty straightforward out-of-play call there.
Yeah, and looked like a football tackle.
Yeah, he's a little confused about that, but it looks pretty far out front when the impact happened.
Well, here we go, continuing to roll. Virio. TJ Binkley taking the star from the Guns. I saw his name as Cesar Salad at one point. I think he changed it to his real name, but that was clever as well. Penalties stacking up from the Outlaws side. We've got Herrera sitting at 6 penalties in danger of fouling out. Over on Southern Discomfort, they've kept it fairly low. We've got Stoneher with 5 and Flat Track Bully with 4.
Discomfort. So minus the 2 power jams is a 15-13.
Hold on, wait a minute. We got Reaper reaping his way through the field of Denton County. He lots of good footwork there, representing, and another hop, skip, and a jump over the apex.
They were ready for him in the inside.
Apexes.
They were ready for him, though.
Yep, took the bump, stayed in bounds, picks up 5 more points. So you were saying, Randy Pan.
Sorry, it's only been 20-13 advantage for Southern Discomfort in the second half, minus the power jams.
Oh, okay.
The power jams are where they really loaded up. But other than that, the Outlaws are actually holding pretty close in this second half.
So the story there is stay out of the box if you want to stay in the game.
And moving forward for Denton Outlaws, if they take what they have right now and then just put a little more focus into staying on the track for future competition, they're going to be even bigger competitors.
Now we have a lead jammer for Denton County.
And it looks like a cut track penalty on Shrooms there. So he has to make the skate of shame all the way around.
As Keith Rutger, nice work on the outside past the box.
Sam Droid there holding that down, but was able to sneak around him.
Strategy here for strategy in blocking, you notice, for these guys. I love the way they position themselves, use each other, use the push. So they're trying to cut track because number 33, Roland Stoner, rolling back, stoning him to the box.
That was a great run. He was all the way on the inside, goes flying back.
Oh, the MRDA action here. Some of the best in the world.
I think it's safe to say the best in the world. For men's derby.
It's
the best men's derby in the world.
Well, I meant of any sport anywhere. So.
Oh, yeah. I can get with that, too.
Yeah, and WFTDA as well. There we go.
Wow, shrugs off a hit against McLean on the last line of defense, and initial pass there. Gets the force out, now is dropped back.
Now stuck.
Rucker up against the Southern Discomfort wall.
When Spectral is holding that wall, it pretty much doesn't move.
Looks like Nick Butcher up front trying to get some offense.
Keith Rucker still stuck there as the jam ends. He will grab 5, both teams getting points there, 4 for Southern Discomfort. 13:45 remaining in the game. 2:27. Southern Discomfort roller derby, making the folks back in England proud. I'm sure Team London, the MRDA WFTA team, quite proud of their brothers in arms here.
That's Brandon Vanderstel jamming for the first time for them on the Nerd Skates jammer line.
You know, you're down, try some things. Ballistic Whistle, so tricky and quick on those toe stops with the blue skates.
Great defense there.
Came inside. See, if you don't need to do the apex jump, don't do it unless you do need to, because you're going to get a cut track. So there we go. Making a liar out of me.
Well, we've seen some great power jam kills. Oh, and it looks like low block picked up by Vanderstelt. He's going to send him to the penalty box and release Ballistic Whistle. Ballistic Whistle sound like a ref name to you? Anyway.
Yes. And a coach, too, as well. Coach of the London Roller Girls. Ballistic with those moves. A little apex hop, jumping past the block.
He was like, this time I won't step out of bounds. Vanderstel already back in, going for the cap pass there. And London caught him in it, or UK caught him in it.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Spinning hit spin. That's the way to bounce off the hits and spin, staying in bounds. Amazing work by Ballistic Whistle. And
Philip Stout picked up the jam cap and a cut track penalty.
And he has the jammer star in his hand. So that's no good for Denton. It's like we have a skater down on the track here. We're going to get some whistles and down on the knees. Been a tough bout here.
That's
tough game for Denton County. They've put it all on the line, playing very aggressively. Outmatched on the floor, but not in heart. We saw Southern Discomfort come in and take on the Gatekeepers and played solid against them in the very first round, game 2, yesterday. So they took a loss there, but moved on to play Bridgetown, and that was a barn burner.
Yes.
The house was raucous.
It was a loud event. Very, very fun.
Yeah, I have to use that word occasionally because no one knows what it means, so I have to put it in context for people.
Much like this young announcer here.
Yes. Very much like myself. Very raucous.
Raucous. That is Brandon Vanderstelt, number 0, that they're checking in on down there. I didn't see the hit on it. It was a mighty lineup as blockers that he was in there. Sutton Impact and Blitzkrieg was in there.
Guys, yeah, it was rough going. So guys over on the bench, all concerned for their teammate, now sitting up.
Possible.
Let's take a look at those penalties over here. Herrera continuing to sit at 6 for the Outlaws. Down from there, we've got 4 for Stout, 4 for Isick. Not too many from there. Fairly clean game, but now
he's got some hold on to his mouth here, so maybe he just took something in the choppers there, but he's up and down and moving out.
Yeah, looks like maybe a bleeder
the level of execution, we've seen a couple of concussions now, so it's a risk going into this, but yeah.
Yeah, not a lot of injuries in Derby compared to other sports, but this is the highest level action with the fastest and strongest skaters in the world.
Like to think Roller Derby Elite, what will 2014 bring you this year? Hopefully a new pair of Roller Derby Elite Series skates.
I hope so.
Yeah, me too, actually. Get with your local dealer or rink to get a pair and contact us to point you in the right direction.
So number 13 again, however you pronounce his name.
Monsieur Furio.
Monsieur Furio. He's out there and jumps the apex. Pick up lead jammer, adding some excitement here late in this one with 11.5 minutes remaining. Commanding lead for Southern Discomfort Roller Derby. In the front, breaking down the blocks one at a time. Fancy making fans. That's how you make yourself Derby famous right there.
Backwards on the opposite skate around Kugler. Looks like Philip Stout picking up the jam cap there. And Furio calls it 0-0 on that last pass.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. Spectral falls down, tries to fall small, which is almost it's rather difficult for a man of his stature. Still a significant roadblock.
But it's the attempt. I mean, that's what, you know.
The attempt, yeah.
That's going to save you from a penalty, and penalties ain't worth it.
And cannot say enough about how smart a game London has played and how smart they played Bridgetown yesterday for that victory, staying focused and in the game the whole time. We have West. Oh, West finds a hole on the outside. Nice sealed seam blocking. Get in there, but no, as usual.
That hole was courtesy of Trace Maxwell, number 24, who set himself on the outside, just brought himself in for a tiny offensive screen to create that hole for Johnny West.
Thanks for noticing. You got to give credit to those blockers, you know, making a guy like West look good, and all he did was take the hole, you know. Follow your blockers.
Yeah, piston broke, number 515, stepping up to the jammer line because why not? Gives a little hug there to Keith Rucker. Steps out there. Rucker gives himself some distance.
Wants to attack this line. Maybe trying something a little different. They've got that strong far wall back there. Hasn't had too much success when they've got more than 3 or more blockers.
Piston broke. It's forced out to the inside, dives back in. And
yeah, he'll get the back block on that one. You could see that one coming.
The footwork, it looked like it was an incidental contact, not like a forced push, but it was a result of where he was. So, yeah, it's the legit call, but it didn't look like he was trying to. Yeah.
Meanwhile, with an awesome move, Keith Rucker picking up lead jammer.
Getting in there for the offense, mixing it up.
Sudden impact, holding him one-on-one, face-to-face. You love the way they attack him one-on-one. They'll take on the block one-on-one, but there's 2 guys behind them ready in case they sneak off that block. There's some strategies going on out here in these men's games that I haven't seen very much of.
I want to throw it out to number 8455 on Denton County, Dennis Hampton. He's always there ready for the offense when those setups go. He's ready to mix it up and get in there, and he's usually the first one in there trying to push. And I really like seeing that in blocker awareness for offense. And another new jammer. I'm excited about this one, too.
There you go.
Charles McLean. Heck yeah. Let's do this.
Yeah, fun stuff. McLean with his opportunity to take on that wall. They don't look that big to me, he says.
Yeah, he's so powerful, and he's been so powerful. I love it.
Good footwork, too, from the big guy. Pushing the wall, getting separation. He is through.
Great.
You got to love that.
Excellent lead jammer. McLean, and then piston broke, breaks through. Right away, almost loses his footing on the around.
Staying in bounds, calling off the jam.
That's going to be a low block. No, illegal procedure. Hit after the whistle. That would be a legal procedure. He had his momentum as the 4 whistles were called, but he couldn't stop it. So hit after the whistle.
So the pistons broke. And in the box.
That's great. And then
but victorious, obviously. I mean, I know we've got 7.5 minutes remaining. That score is pretty daunting. I know most people don't like to call it till right by the end. This is the time. Obviously, you're throwing in the big guys like McLean, and that's just some.
It's great opportunities.
Yeah, great opportunities.
You're just taking the great opportunities here.
Putting the guys like Loza in to get some experience. Now Johnny West, the fighter.
Wow.
Pushes so hard. You got to love the push and the release of the block, and that's what creates the hole like that.
Wow, nice. And then as soon as that tiny opening is there, he's able to pirouette through. Now Reaper, I don't know. Reaper is wearing the pivot hat for Southern Discomfort.
Maybe to get some experience out there. You don't see Reaper in the
wow, easy pass there for Johnny West. I wonder if he's going to possibly take the star cap
good job.
from Piston Broke. I don't know. This is a possibility.
How long have you been watching this game now? 10 years?
A little education there. Oh, very nearly drawing a high block on Sutton there, but we get out 3 points there for Johnny West. I know. Shot in the dark, maybe. He was setting that up. Keith Rucker back out there.
We'd like to give thanks to Back Alley Skates and all of our sponsors. We couldn't do it without you. Take care of those sponsors. They take care of us.
Monsieur Froyo on the Nerd Skates Jam line out there as well. All 4 Southern Discomfort blockers holding down on Keith Rucker. Furio gets the force back and is moved back to number 88, Philip Stout. Sets back up in defensive position, gets the force out to the inside, but quick footwork brings him up against Stout again. 88 Stout all over Mr. Furio here. He gets himself in a position in front. Great skating, Philip Stout.
Yep. Oh, nice knockout there. Continuing to show shades of greatness here is Denton County late. Doing some good defensive work.
Philip Stout doing a great job on Monsieur Furio. 45 seconds in. Wow. That matchup was incredible. And I thought a penalty was assessed there for a second. They're just letting him know to adjust his elbow pads, which I appreciate. Philip Stout, this time he gets a screen from number 380, Flat Track Bully, making a much easier pass for Monsieur Furio. Spectral Aberration and Roland Stoner there holding down on Rucker, who takes off his hat and then sneaks around for his initial pass.
I've seen that work recently in the playoffs. The old cap stash, little sleight of hand, misdirection action. So it's neat to see the changes in the rule sets, making the star passes happen more often and in different ways.
Monsieur Furio just took a couple of really big checks from Cesar Loza and Charles McLean there, and still kept going.
Oh, I got a message from some of our MRDA board members that said, hey, Raucus, ask the fans out there to give some shout-outs and liven up the Facebook page for MRDA. So if you're watching out there, get on that Facebook page and share your thoughts and post about your favorite skaters and whatnot. Reaper battling the front wall of Denton County, breaking them down one by one, picking up lead jammer with a spin and some flair. The fans here are loving this guy.
I'm posting my love on Facebook right now of giving Charles McLean the jammer hat. Quick pass there for his initial one.
It worked, and Reaper jumping, spinning, scoring.
He took contact before he got out of control, put a hand out of bounds, but I think that contact was from his own blocker, so no cut there.
Yeah, reaping in all the points here is Reaper.
Take care of your head, Reaper. You don't need to push it now.
Now 76 points for Reaper on the board. Monsieur Furio with 146, so more than all of Denton County Jammers put together.
Wow.
Very, very impressive display of power by this team, making a splash at the MRDA Championships on the floor. Shrooms at the back of the pack held, but Johnny West.
Johnny West through again, this time 24, Trace Maxwell with the great offense, carving a lane there for Johnny West.
And that's happened multiple times in this game with Maxwell. Shrooms through, initial pass,
Johnny West trugs a hit to the inside, still able to dance around. Call it for his 5.
I know Johnny West has got a lot of attention this weekend, coming in with some illness and being a hero for his team, putting them in this 5th place game. This team is going to be very happy with the 6th place finish, coming in the 8th seed. They did a lot of work to get here this year, and I don't think they're going away.
No, not this, especially so young.
Yeah.
Especially with people learning and executing at this level, and they're still learning. Oh, yeah. No, we're going to see them here next year.
Ballistic Whistle trying to force the cut track there.
Keith Rucker.
But Keith Rucker staying in bounds.
After shoving off a hit from 101 blitzkrieg there. Oh, Charles McLean with the force out to the inside. I love that guy. Ballistic Whistle.
Playing some defense at the back of the pack. Trying to help out his pack before making an effort to the front line of Denton County's defense. Ballistic Whistle, push, run. Out.
Out of play, Warren. Ballistic Whistle had that look at his face. I know it's out of play. It's got to be.
Yeah.
Rucker takes a hop to the inside, calls it for 5.
Time winding down on this one, just over a minute remaining, and we're so glad you've tuned in to this game and all of the action this weekend. But the top 2 bouts, games of the weekend coming up.
A lot of appreciation for these 2 teams here, making a huge impact and showing a lot of good gameplay.
A sudden impact.
Indeed. Wow, Monsieur Furio barreling through the middle there for lead jammer.
And coming up behind here,
that's
number 24, Trace Maxwell.
Oh, Furio takes a hit to the inside, calls it for 4-0. That's going to give us, well, if someone calls the timeout, we'll get one more jam.
So 4 points on that one, adding to this huge lead for Southern Discomfort.
Looks like they're not going to call for it. They're going to let the period clock wind off. They're going to,
yeah.
And that's it. That is the bout. This was fun. I like these guys. I like these guys, Ron.
I do too. If you weren't a fan of both of these teams, I'm sure you are now. And I think we're going to hear a lot on the airwaves about the Southern Discomfort team. And I think they've got the potential to come in and vie for a championship running down the road.
I like what we're seeing from them. I like in the case of the incredibly disciplined, well-crafted gameplay from Southern Discomfort. They've got smart play, really dialed in, really built up, very efficient lineups. The situations were always covered. You could see the set plays, the powerful jamming mixed with the hardcore blocking, the footwork. Very, very dialed-in game. Came in, really earned their 5th place spot here.
They really did. And very interestingly, Ballistic Whistle, of course, who we've seen jamming here for Southern Discomfort, the coach of London's roller derby team also plays a very tight, controlled, well-executed game, very fluid on offense and defense, stout walls. And you're seeing a lot of similar type play here from the men's team.
Yeah, that's not a coincidence.
It's not a coincidence. They're practicing together. They're working together, very much like Gotham and New York Stock Exchange play and work together.
They're learning what works from each other, and I just think it's great. Denton County Outlaws, so fun. Young team, hungry team, very talented team. That Johnny West is freaking incredible. He is so fun to watch. But the gameplay was sharp. They know where they needed to be when they need to be there. Issues with penalties and just maybe like a half step behind execution-wise, but you see why they're here. You see why they're here, and you see the potential in such a young team with a lot of new skaters out there. So you see nothing but upward momentum for them.
Yeah, and they took down Mass yesterday. That was quite the accomplishment. They have to be happy with that because Mass, a veteran team with a lot of experience, has played a lot of the top teams very close over time. So Denton has nothing to be ashamed of. And your fans at home there in Denton County, Texas, should be proud of this team.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And I just look forward to the future with them. I look forward to them developing more and more, like solidifying a lot of the gameplay. You see the roots of what they want to do. You see the attempts. You see them going for the thing. You see some great gameplay there. A lot of players I really enjoyed. I enjoyed Charles McLean. I enjoyed we talked about Johnny West. Philip Stout, man, he had some great offensive plays there.
Sure.
I know we're getting ready to check in pretty soon with Phil Dirt, going to be
talking with Spectral Aberration.
Which I think is going to be a great interview. I'm actually going to try to hang out for that because, I think Spectral Aberration.
I cannot wait to go over and shake that guy's hand. I mean, just the wonderful footwork for the big guy, the stout blocking, impressive, and that's probably why over on interview right now with Phil Dirt.
All right, I'm Phil Dirt. I'm here with Spectral Aberration from Southern Discomfort, just off that huge win, 262-102. How you feel you guys did out there?
Yeah, we're really happy about that one. I mean, we played DCO about 5 months ago, and we had a relatively good score against them, but we saw them play against Mass earlier in the weekend, and they were super strong. So we wanted to make sure that we worked really hard, and so we're super pleased with that score based on sort of what we've seen them do earlier in the weekend. So yeah, delighted.
Nice, yeah, they're definitely both you guys coming into kind of Cinderella stories, doing a lot better. You had an amazing game out there. I counted at least about 5 big hits that you gave, knocked the other guy down, and you personally drew 3 cutting penalties on the opposing jammer. So you are a lot more nimble on your skates than I think your opponents might give you packs for. What is your skating background?
I don't actually really have a skating background. I started with Derby about 3 years ago now. I only ever wanted to be a ref, and I only really skated with Southern Discomfort to get some extra time on skates. And they're like, come do drills, and I was like, no, I don't want to play. And then eventually they wrote me in, and then I just started playing. Yeah. Nice,
you do an amazing job, and the reffing part, odd because most refs are the dirtiest skaters in the world. So you had 1 cutting the track penalty, as far as I know, and maybe one, but normally a guy who hits as hard as you do and your size tends to pick up a lot of more form. So do you try and play as clean as possible?
Yeah, I mean, especially when I started and I was so new and kind of inept on my skates, the only thing I had at my disposal was I had a vague understanding of the game and I knew the rules, so I started off playing really clean and tried to hold to that. My first game this weekend I actually fouled out, but that normally doesn't happen. That's a rarity for me, I think. So yeah, I tried to.
Hey, it happens to the best of us sometimes. I understand. But yeah, you had an amazing game, so congratulations on you guys placing well above where you were before. So have you been having fun on your trip so far?
Yeah, I have. It's been an awesome time. It's always great to hang out with the SDRD guys. And yeah, these events are always awesome because all the Merby guys are really fun and friendly, and yeah, it's an amazing experience, and I've had a lot of fun. Thanks.
Well, good deal. Congratulations again, and thank you very much. All right, you're watching Maritime Mayhem here on WFTDA.tv. Thank you, Blaze Stream Media. We're going to sell some stuff now.
We are Deb Null
and Roxy Sadowski of Nerd Roller Skates,
Calgary, Alberta's full-service skate shop.
We are roller derby players and roller skate nerds.
And we are here for the people who roll.